Hello, 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 hello. Happy New Year. This is Stella Rose all day. Just make sure my volume is on. Um, Happy New Year, everybody. Just as a reminder, you do have to be a member to participate in my chat. Okay, so the LA fires. The other night, when I was on YouTube and I was watching the live streams of the LA fires and I was in the chat. I was commenting, they're burning the evidence. They're totally burning the evidence, okay? And so I believe, it's my opinion, that they're intentional, all right? Trump is coming into administration in another 11 days. We only have 11 more days. And the closer that it gets to Trump coming in, the Prime Minister of Canada resigns, okay, because he doesn't want to deal with Trump. The Prime Minister of England resigns because they don't want to deal with Trump, okay, because they know that Trump's going to turn everything around in this country. Um, I I feel bad for the people in California, but at the same time, it's like, you know, Hollywood needed a fresh start, okay? I mean, the whole when Trump won, everybody went running literally because they knew that they were going to be in trouble because the Epstein list is coming out, and with P Diddy, he was just another Epstein. Now Oprah's name is being thrown out there. You know what I heard yesterday? Candace Owens said that Barack Obama is gay. Well, everybody that had any participation in the freak offs or whatever, they're, I mean, DJ Khaled and okay, whatever. And like that's fine if that's your preference, you know what I'm saying? But I didn't know that Obama was gay, but I will tell you this. When I read this becoming Michelle Obama, it totally makes sense. It totally makes sense. I don't know if you've read this or not, her biography, but it makes sense because he basically like slept on her couch and used her to get ahead in life because he I don't know, he was just kind of, I mean, he wasn't even born in America. He was a president that became president who was not a natural citizen of the United States. But so I was helping my neighbor with something and she had Jeopardy on. And you know how Jeopardy is like on ABC? It's produced by ABC, which is the big umbrella. And they had a segment about Obama. And I'm like, because it's all the big umbrella stuff. You know what I mean? It's all coming out. Okay, so what did I just see with Biden? It was Biden just let the cat out of the bag about the fires. Um they didn't have water coming out of the hydrants because the power was cut. Right, because it was planned, okay? Like I don't know, like as far as the conspiracy theory about the hurricane in North Carolina. So what they were saying is that where the hurricane hit was where they tried to get those people to move for years because that particular part of North Carolina is they're sitting on the largest supply of lithium and silica, which big tech needs. Now, what I was told was Kamala Harris's husband has the mining contracts on that area. And they tried to get those people to move for years and they didn't want to move. And so they sabotaged them. And that's what I believe. That's what I understand. If you want to talk about how they said that there was dry ice that was dropped in the storm clouds to make the hurricane go a certain direction. I mean, I think that there's some truth to it, because they also didn't have any help for the people whose homes were destroyed. You know what I'm saying? They closed the shelters, and I saved the photo. I had taken a photo, a screenshot of the direction of the hurricane the morning of. So at I think it was like 1:27 or 1:30, around there, that Friday morning, I was watching the Weather Channel, and it was Jim Cantori, and I took a screenshot of the Weather Channel and the projection of the hurricane, and it wasn't any. Here it is, right here. Okay. I don't know if you could see this. Well, hold on a minute. Asheville's over here. That's not where the hurricane was directed. Now, going through this conspiracy theories online about the hurricane, it was that they had boats that were in the Gulf of Mexico that were producing clouds, and the boats they weren't standing still, but they were like moving at a very, very slow rate. And it was like, people found it suspicious. But what they noticed is that they were producing these storm clouds. Okay. So, and then they dropped the dry ice into the weather bands to basically target that specific area where they were trying for 2 or 3 years to get those people to move, that were sitting on the largest supply of lithium and silica for the tech industry. So now you go ahead and try to get these people to move because you want what's underneath it, right? Then you destroy their property. Then you don't let FEMA come in and help them. You don't give them any food. You don't give them any water. You basically know that winter was coming. You don't give them any assistance. You back them into a corner. It was around, I want to say maybe like the week before Christmas, that FEMA was offering people the price to give the people whose lands and homes were destroyed, give them the value of what their home was worth before it was destroyed. So they basically painted those people into a corner and made them desperate, because you don't have any food, you don't have any water, the water is contaminated. They closed the shelters, so they forced them into moving and forced them into a situation where they couldn't survive. Now we have the LA fires, okay? Isn't it interesting that Karen Bass was out of town when the fire started? Why was she out of town? Well, if I knew they were going to burn a whole town down, I guess I would leave too, right? But I said when I wrote Aaron Carter's documentary in 2023 that Karen Bass was basically a useless person. And like today, when I was watching the news conferences about Los Angeles and the fires, it's the same thing that they always do, okay, with the government websites and the, Robert Luna going on. If anybody's caught looting, we're going to get you. We're going to get you. If you're going to loot in this town, we're going to get you. And it's like anybody with half a brain whose house is on fire took off, okay? Like, instead of saying that you're going to huff and puff and blow somebody's house down, okay, just arrest the people if they're looting. You know what I mean? But California, anyway, in the chat, okay, we were in the chat on the lives. There were other people that were already saying the same thing. It's because of Diddy. It's because they're destroying the evidence. It's also a distraction, okay, because you have that Luigi that's in jail who, okay, I believe the conspiracy theory that Nancy Pelosi ordered a hit on the guy from the United Healthcare, on the CEO, because of the insider trading that her husband did. Okay. And he was about to testify. Okay. His lawyers, same lawyer as Diddy. I don't believe that's Diddy in jail. I think that they're going to kill Britney Spears. I think that Jay-Z's going to have, they're just trying to get through the Super Bowl, okay? And then after that, Jay-Z's going to have a reckoning coming, because the NFL doesn't want to have to, basically put their foot in their mouth about, keeping Jay-Z on, all right? So whatever with that. But Karen Bass and like Gavin Newsom. Now, Gavin Newsom is related to Nancy Pelosi. Now, if you Google Gavin Newsom related to Nancy Pelosi, they're going to say that, okay, he's not her nephew, but their families were related through a marriage, okay? But definitely there's family ties there, and it's, again, the family business, right? So I definitely think that the Los Angeles fires were intentional. I think that their press conferences are a bunch of garbage, like they always have, with a bunch of representatives standing up there like, oh, we're gonna all stick it out. And it's like, listen, if FEMA gives you more than $750 in a tent, I'd be really surprised. Okay. But when I posted that, if you want to go to my community tab, I shared a video of Allie Carter, who was talking about, she said it back in October, there's going to be fires. Okay. They want to hide the evidence. She talked about Oprah Winfrey. In that video, she talked about Child Protective Services. And she said that Child Protective Services is where they find the kids. And, when she talked about that, I right away thought about, well, Aaron Carter and Melanie Martin and Prance, okay? Because as far as Angel Carter doing a paternity test and saying that Prance is Aaron's kid, that doesn't fly, okay? Not in a court of law. The only DNA that could prove paternity in a court of law, okay, if you do your research, is Aaron or Bob, okay? Angel Carter Conrad is not considered a reliable source to determine paternity. And because the DNA that exists that proves that Taylor Helgeson is Prance's father, okay, that they don't, obviously Melanie and Angel don't want the truth to come out about the DNA, because then it just unravels the whole ball of wax about Aaron Carter and him being killed, okay? And so basically they don't want but the truth is already out there. And so when I had the information about that Elaine fraud rezo, okay, now all of a sudden, what was it, right? I told you on Christmas Day, okay, that the estate's not going to close by the end of the year. Then the very next day, okay, what were the press releases? Oh, Aaron Carter's estate is insolvent. Well, it wouldn't have been if you didn't collude with Spencer Williams and, skim money for the cars that you never, $60,000 worth of automobiles that you didn't tag into the estate. But what ended up happening is because I exploited her and I talked about the truth, all of a sudden they need another out, okay? Oh, there won't be any money left for Prince. There won't be any money left for Prince, okay? Because they can't give money to Prince, because Prince is not Aaron's kid, okay? Prince is not Aaron's kid. Melanie's not going to get anything. They're going to come after Melanie. Melanie's been under investigation, okay? And Melanie's going to start pointing the finger over at Angel Carter Conrad, okay? Because they're going to play the blame game, all right? They don't like it that I come on here and I tell people what the truth is, okay? You want to know why? Because I'm a mirror, okay? And they don't want to look at themselves. They know that I'm speaking the truth. They'd rather try to target me and say that, you know, I'm insane or I'm crazy or I'm whatever. And if people who want to believe that, let them believe that. I don't care. I know what the truth is, okay? So you're going to find out more. I definitely think that Oprah Winfrey is probably going to go down. Um, I mean, you could tell, but after the whole Kamala Harris thing, and they caught up with Oprah, and they chased her down, and they knew it, and they were like, "Hey, Oprah, why did you charge $1 million to speak at the at Kamala Harris's rally?" You know, "Oh no, I didn't charge $1 million," and it's like, come on, you guys are hiding in plain sight. You're moving the money around right in front of the people. Right in front of the people, you're moving the money around, okay? And I believe that Obama was behind it. Obama's got the controlling share in Netflix. Instead of saying Netflix, just say Obama, okay? Instead of saying the big umbrella, just say Disney. Just say Sony. You know what I mean? When you say P. Diddy, just say child trafficking, okay? Jay-Z, child sexual assault, okay? Those two were as thick as thieves, all right? Beyonce distancing herself from Jay-Z. Well, what'll end up happening to Beyonce, she'll just have to get out of the music industry, okay? She won't be able to perform. I'm very, very, very worried for Britney Spears. 1,000% worried for Britney Spears. I told you years ago that I think that they're going to do a Princess Diana on her. They're definitely going to take her out. Right now, they're making money off of her spinning around, and obviously not knowing what's going on. All of a sudden, her kids are around because the child support payments dried up. I mean, that's what I think it is. I just think that the kids are coming around now because they're not getting money from the child support and they know that she's got it, you know? So, I mean, whatever, there's always karma. But I mean, I think as far as California and Los Angeles burning down, they had to do something. This is the power of Donald Trump coming in, straightening it all out. Gavin Newsom, he's going to be gone. Karen Useless Bass, she's going to be gone. Robert Luna, he'll be retired or taking early retirement or whatever, okay? But literally, President Biden, they reported President Biden let the cat out of the bag, that it was intentional that they didn't have water in the hydrants, okay? So you have your government that is working against you, okay? They're not going to allow they're basically putting homeowners insurance out of business. So there's not going to be any more homeowner insurance policies, okay? There's no way that they're going to be able to afford to be in business. What are you going to get insurance for? They're not going to be able to replace those $1 million homes that the celebrities lived in. And you know what? The celebrities couldn't sell them anyway. They're probably glad to get out of California because it's all coming down. It's all coming down. I mean, it's a shame that they were basically burning all of the evidence, but the country's out of control. The government is just killing witnesses. You know what I'm saying? And destroying evidence. They don't want their names to be tarnished. You know what I'm saying? Oprah took a back seat a long time before Ellen did. So basically, I'm just saying that I definitely believe there's no such thing as coincidences. I think that the fires were intentional. We have 11 more days and then Trump takes over and things are going to change very fast. Very quickly, things will start changing, okay? And so I look forward to that. I really do. I look forward to that. I look forward to Trump being in for 8 years. They're going to change the term limits for him. because he needs more than 4 years to be able to straighten out this mess. You're going to hear more about Aaron Carter's case probably come February. January, we only have Trump for like 11 days, and he's got a lot of things that he needs to do in 11 days. You know what I'm saying? But, I mean, things are going to change for the better because they need to change for the better. Okay? But the CPS, with the CPS, and go watch that video, because what she says is like, don't trust the FBI. They're just flushing out the information. They just want to get the information. That's exactly what they do. They collude. They absolutely collude. The FBI absolutely flushes out the information. Okay. But not everybody in law enforcement is bad. Not everybody in law enforcement is bad. Anybody who had something to hide is running for the hills. Okay, they're running from the hills. And fire was a good way to destroy things because it spreads quickly, and they knew the conditions were going to be ripe for a perfect storm. 100-mile-an-hour winds, when does that ever happen? 100-mile-an-hour winds, when does that happen? Gavin Newsom, of course, is going to be fired. I mean, his aunt can't protect him anymore. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be interesting what will happen to our country. But, I mean, it was bound to happen. How about like Joe Rogan knew about it back in July? Okay. So there were people who knew that this was going to happen, people who were unprepared or whatever. But I'm not going to be surprised when Karen Bass gets fired. She was useless anyway. They're just placeholders. That's it. They're just there. They're warm bodies. You know what I mean? That's it. They're just warm bodies. They're not actually doing anything to help. Like, California is a dumpster fire anyway. Probably one of the best things that could happen because they just had so many problems associated with their state. It's just better for them to start over anyway. You know what I'm saying? But things will start moving much faster once we get into February. You know what I mean? But I just thought that was very, very, very interesting. So you're going to see where basically, as far as Aaron Carter's case, what you're going to see is like what I told you, Melanie, you're not going to get anything. And you know that now. They've been breadcrumbing you they've probably been breadcrumbing Melanie. Let's see, right after like the Hulu documentary. So they used Melanie and they used Taylor to get them on film, to produce that documentary, The Little Prince of Pop. Okay. Then they've been breadcrumbing them, because why did Taylor Helgeson just pick up and move all the way to Utah where his mom lives? His mom's a realtor, so he's probably working with his mom. I mean, you can make a lot of money in real estate. As far as I'm aware, he hasn't been pushing his records too much. You know what I'm saying? And he's going to have to provide for that child coming up pretty soon, because Melanie, isn't going to be able to provide for that kid. And she doesn't want that kid anyway, because it's just a liability for her. She only wanted that kid to play a role to extort money out of Aaron's estate. They purposely got pregnant and had that baby just to extort money out of Aaron's estate. That's what I believe. And they know that other people have the DNA. That third-party executor knows that she's busted, and that basically she can't pull off what she wanted to pull off, because now she's in trouble. Okay. So maybe she's not in trouble yet, but she knows that she is being watched. She knows that the gig is up. And like I told you, Melanie's not going to get anything. But Melanie doesn't deserve anything. You know what I'm saying? How they'll end up giving Jane the royalties is probably through a management contract. But as you can see, they're all running scared. I feel bad for the people that died in the fires, because, they were a casualty to what was going on, but it's a bigger system at play. You know what I mean? It's the who has the gold makes the rules, you know? And so a lot of the things that I told you was going to happen are playing out. So we just keep watching it unfold right in front of our eyes. I'm so glad that I was able to work on Aaron's case, because it made so much sense with the politicians being involved, and it just made so much more sense after P. Diddy got arrested and more of the dots were connected. You know what I mean? All of Aaron's books are on Amazon now. If you get his books through Amazon Kindle, they will automatically link you to the YouTube videos that were used in the documentary. And if you want to buy the paperbacks, all of the paperbacks are available as well. People wanted the paperbacks because they wanted to purchase the evidence, because when you purchase the paperback, you're buying evidence, okay? So if you want to purchase that, those are all available now on Amazon. They will be available internationally. I also release them for the library app. So I always do that. I always give my copies of my books to the libraries at no charge. So if you're somebody who, I think it's OneDrive is the app, who uses OneDrive, you should be able to get all of Aaron's books, all of my books, at no charge through the library, in Japan, Germany, all the international, it's not Kindle, but it's like Tolino, all of the international apps should have all of the copies. You should be able to get copies in any country of Aaron's book. Maybe not the paperbacks, because I think that like some countries, they're not able to produce it. But if you want them, you can just create a United States Amazon account by logging out of your Amazon, going to amzn.to, creating a United States account, and having the book printed here and then shipped internationally. That's how you can get it, because not all of the countries are set up to print the books, but all of his books are available in paperback now. And like I said, international just takes some time for it to roll out, but it's all available. It's all out there. All of Aaron's documentaries are done. Everything has been completed. I'm very, very happy with the way everything turned out. Thank you, everybody who does support my work by purchasing my books. I have, things that I'm working on. I'm working on things that have to do with my case. And I'm enjoying my life. I'm enjoying the new year. I feel good. Things are looking up. I do appreciate the fan mail. I know it takes me a long time sometimes to respond, but I mean, I do the best I can. Anyway, we're just going to keep our eye on the prize. We're just going to keep watching everything, but 1,000% they're burning the evidence down, okay? They're afraid of Donald Trump. They're afraid of what's going to happen in this country. I'm personally looking forward to it. Thank God the day of reckoning is here, I would say also I wouldn't, donate to the Red Cross. They were a complete useless organization who absolutely did nothing during the hurricane. I did want to say thank you to U.S. Cellular and beloved Asheville for giving my neighbor they really hooked her up. I mean, they gave her a brand new Galaxy Tab 14.5-inch ultra slim tablet, a brand new Samsung Galaxy phone. They gave her 2 hotspots so she could have the Wi-Fi. Paid services paid in full for 2 years. Okay, so it took some time to get it all connected, but it did come through for her. So I just want to say thank you for that, because that was such a headache, but we got it done. And I'm just saying, like, with the Red Cross advertising to donate, they did absolutely zero. Okay, zero, zilch. Okay, they didn't even hand out a bottle of water. Okay, to the people over in North Carolina. All right, so I wouldn't be donating to them at all. The donations for the hurricane in Asheville all came from private people. Okay, it all came from private people who drove up here from other states. That's where the donations came from. Okay, Lowe's donated a lot. Lowe's actually set up, like, in their parking lots, they set up like disaster recovery, and had like these drive-throughs where people could go through, and get water and cleaning supplies and stuff like that. But I'm just saying, like, what happens is like during these natural disasters, you have people who are always like have their hand out looking for donations and stuff. But if it's my advice is, if you know somebody in that area and they're going through a hardship, donate money to them directly, or donate something to them directly off of an Amazon list or something like that. But like donating to these companies that are full of crap that don't actually do anything. I was on the ground floor here in Asheville, and the Red Cross was completely non-existent. Okay, non-existent. And FEMA wasn't here. All of the help came in from the churches and volunteers from out of state that drove it up here. Okay, and it was absolutely ridiculous that the government just turned a blind eye, but they had a hidden agenda, and people need to start thinking about that. Like, thank God Donald Trump is coming in to clean up all of that mess, all of that red tape, just cutting through all of that red tape, And like that video that I posted with Allie Carter, she said something very interesting. She said, "You think that you're going to get justice in a justice system? Who have you ever known that has gotten justice in the justice system?" And it's like, it's very true. It's very true. You have to look, people, there's no way that is P. Diddy that's in that jail. Okay? There's no way that that's P. Diddy in that jail. I don't believe that. They learned from Epstein that it's too hard to get the body out once the body's in there. So they never put him in there. Okay? They never put him in there. No way. That's not him in there. I'm looking forward to the Epstein list coming out. All of a sudden, Bill Clinton will probably get sick and die. I mean, I'm not wishing that on him, but he doesn't look well. I was watching the Jimmy Carter earlier, what do you call that? He was like his state the state funeral or whatever, And I'm like, man, he died, and that was like the root of the problem right there. And it was like, he died, and then here comes the fires. Because you know what? His family, the Carter family, were one of the original founders, okay, of the United States of America, which is a corporation. Okay, so he can't protect anybody anymore. So now all the truth is going to come out, and I'm here for it. I'm excited. Do I think that Oprah's going to go down? Yeah, I do. I think that Jay-Z, there's going to be more to come there. I just think that I'm glad that it's all coming out. All coming out, because what hasn't been discussed are the kids that were in the tunnels, the kids that were in the tunnels. That hasn't been addressed yet. That's going to be addressed. Okay, we're going to be finding out about where all these children were. But again, I urge you to go watch that video, because she talks about a lot of things. And when she mentioned CPS, it was like the red light went off with the whole Aaron Carter thing. Because remember how they tried to like make up a bunch of BS reasons why they took the baby away from Aaron? It was all part of the trap. All part of the trap. Because Aaron knew. Aaron was telling everybody for years. Now, the date. So the murder for hire definitely was. I got confirmation earlier in the week that it was definitely started in 2019. Okay. I don't want to give the exact date. I give some dates in the documentary, but I did get confirmation earlier in the week that it was definitely 2019. Okay. So that's it. That's all I wanted to say. Thank you, everybody who does purchase my work and supports the channel. I really appreciate it. I wish everybody a happy new year, and just keep reading between the lines, because the information's out there. They're just doing it right in front of your face. Right in front of your face. You have to be a highly intelligent person to be able to see through all of their disguises and all of their masks, but it's possible. The truth is there for those who seek it. Namaste.